let's talk about what men expect from their wives. The most important thing a man expects from his wife is that the woman, this to me, it looks a little bit selfish, but I'm just going to give you as they are, all right? Just the way it is. And it is not, this is not something coming from me, and this is not even coming from the men. This is a need that is in the mind of the woman. This is a need in the lives of the men. The men need it, and there is nothing I and you can do about it. The men need this, and even God recognizes this need. And the need is that the men want their women to let them know that they are respected. The men, most husbands want their wives to show them, find any way of showing it. Show it any way you can. But the man they have that need for their wives to display to them, to prove to them that they are respected. I don't know how you understand that, and I don't know if what I'm saying is clear enough or is not clear enough. Yeah, Maria Olaleye, you see, she's crying, and she say, wow, again, here we come, respect again, here it comes again. And she's crying, she's putting cry sign there, and that's why I didn't want to address this topic, frankly speaking. That is why I did not want to address this topic, because too many people talking down on the woman. That is just too many. Everywhere you go, people are talking about this thing. Let's assume that the men are doing their duties. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's assume that the men are doing their duties, and the men are being worthy men. Let's just assume that the men are being noble men. Let's believe that the man is doing his best and is trying to be a father, is trying to be a man. Let's say the man is trying to be a pillar, trying to be a covering, trying to be the foundation that he's supposed to be, and he's doing his best. So if the man is doing his best, you know what? One of the really good ways for a woman to really encourage him is for the woman to show him honor. Now, let me tell you about men. The thing about men is this: when it comes to honor and respect, to them is on the same level as women asking to know if she is loved. For the man, just like a woman wants to be loved, just like a woman wants to be cared for, just like a woman wants to be treated with love and adoration and adulation as well. So also to the man, the desire for love for the woman is natural, is indwelt in her. Both men and women need to be respected, but for the man, just like saying both men and women need to be loved, yes, but just for the man, he needs more respect than he needs love. Can you believe that? A man needs to be respected more than he needs to be loved. A man doesn't need to be told, for example, that I love you, I love you, I love you. A man doesn't need to be told like that. But a man needs to be told that, you know what, I respect you. you are the best. I just honor you, my husband. But of course, not just saying that. A man doesn't just need to be told, but you need to argue it. Tell him what he's doing that makes you to want to respect him. Like for example, if a woman would tell the husband that, I just admire the way you care for the family. I just thank you for the way you are trying to do your best to cover for me, to cover for the family, to take care of me, to be a father to me, to be a father to the children. I just see all your efforts. I see what you are doing. I see all the energy you are putting into it. You are just the best, I love you. I respect you. You are my, like in our language, they call it the owner of the purchaser of my right or something like that. Olowori or something. You are my worthy head. You are my pride. You are my hero. You are my superhero. Something like that. You are my superhero. I just admire. What he really wants is to know that his efforts are being appreciated, and that you appreciate him so much to submit yourself to him. That you appreciate him so much to submit yourself to him, to tell him that you deserve, you have won my respect. You've won my respect. You've won my admiration. He wants to be admired. He wants to know that he has done enough to be admired. He wants to know that he desired to be adulated. So a man wants to be appreciated in his own house. Especially for him, he doesn't care if he's not appreciated anywhere else. He does not care if he's not appreciated at work or if he's not appreciated in the society. But in his own house, he wants the wife to really acknowledge him. He wants the wife to respect him. He wants the wife to honor him. And he wants the wife to show it. He wants the wife to demonstrate it one way or the other and show that you deserve my honor. You deserve my respect. I respect you. I appreciate everything you are doing. You are just the best. You are trying for the family. You are trying for me. You are trying for everybody. Thank you for what you are doing for my parents. Thank you for what you are doing for my father, for my mother. Thank you that you are there when I felt bad. Thank you that you are there all when something happened, that you are always there. Thank you that you are always supportive. Thank you that when I felt bad, and you know what? When a woman talks to the husband like that, you know what happens to the man? He wants to respond by doing more. Now, women might think that if he's not even doing enough and you are telling him that he's doing it and you are thanking him for it, that he will think it's okay, that he will just relax. No. For the man, it's an ego thing. It's about ego. So if you are telling him that he's doing well, if you are telling him that you are grateful for it, he gets challenged. That's the way men are. He gets challenged. And he wants to demonstrate more. He wants to try and do even more. He wants to go, he wants to go out of his way to even demonstrate to you that he can even do more, that he's capable of doing much more than he has done. But if he does not get appreciated, he will stop doing what he was doing before. Even the little he was doing, he will stop. He will just stop. This is just encouragement. But respect needs to be earned. And this kind of respect makes the wife like a housemaid girl. And she has no position in the house if she just respects him without him earning it. Yeah, well, there's a truth to that. You know, that's why I said in the ideal situation, let's assume that the man is doing what he needs to do. But also, it will be a kind of wisdom from the side of the woman if she would know that she's actually sowing what she's expecting from the man. You know, so when he does one little thing and you appreciate that little thing and you thank him for that little thing and you honor him and respect him for that little thing that he has done, the woman should know that she's actually, it's like watering your garden. It's like watering your garden. So it's like she watering a garden, and that little appreciation she has shown and that little gratitude she has shown will grow over time. It will encourage him to give more, to be more responsible, to do much more than he had done so far. So that's the way it works for the man. That's the way it works for the man. His ego needs to be taken care of. His ego needs to be pampered. His ego needs to be, his ego needs to be, to be caressed. So it is not just, okay, somebody said everybody needs to be respected. Yes, even though the woman needs to be respected, of course, the woman needs to be respected too. But she has more need to be loved. The woman, she has more need to be covered, to be protected, to be secured, to be appreciated, to be nurtured, to be romantic towards. She needs to be loved more. But the man, he only needs to be, he doesn't need too much of I love you this. He doesn't even understand what that means. What he wants is that you respect him. He doesn't want much. Men don't need too much. Men just need one and the same thing. Respect. The number one thing on their agenda is respect. No, it's not. The number one thing actually is sex, but we'll talk about that later on. But the number one and number two thing is respect and sex, or sex and respect in that order. Now that is why the Bible always talks everywhere that the wives are supposed to be submissive to their husbands, because God knows that the greatest need of the man is for his ego to be taken care of, and that the way to take care of the ego of the man is for him to be honored, is for him to be respected, especially in the family. It needs to be respected in the family like no other place, like in no other place. So if his need in the family for respect is met, then he wants to be a hero. Then he wants to go out of himself. Then he wants to do much more than he had done before, or that he is even capable of doing. He wants to, of course, I understand, Beatty, that respect needs to be earned. But when you appreciate him and you thank and you show respect for him, especially for the little thing he has done before, you know what he wants to do? He wants to now go and do more and earn more respect, and earn more respect. Somewhere in the Bible, I think it's 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 6. 1 Peter 3:6. The Bible, Peter was talking about Sarah, and said Sarah was obedient to the husband, was submissive to the husband. And submission is is a way to show the man Submission is just a tool, it's a way, it's a means to show the man honor. Submission is one of the ways to show the man respect. But submission is not the only way to show respect to the man. So I think the ladies should be asking themselves now, how do I show respect and honor to my husband? There are different ways. And I think that every woman needs to look for ways and different ways of showing respect to the husband. One of the ways that the Bible spoke about all the time, that respect and honor should be shown to the man, is by obedience. It's through obedience. That's one way. When he talks, or he gives out instruction, if you obey him, and if you are able, because sometimes not all instructions could be obeyed, but if you can obey and just obey him and follow his instruction, to him, that might show honor. Not when you are just blindly obeying every instruction, of course, but especially those instructions that you don't feel like obeying, and he knows that you have another opinion about it, and you still go ahead and obey him. That actually earns you more respect from the man than when you don't let him know that you don't want to obey. You should let him know that you don't want to obey. He respects you more. The man respects the woman more when he knows that she's having another opinion, but she's still obeyed. Or she's having another, she doesn't like to do the thing, but she just did it to honor him. That shows to him that she's really honoring him. Even though that could be horrible, I think personally that is horrible in the sense that, if she doesn't want to do it and she's forcing herself to do it, she's not happy. And I think a loving husband will not force or make the wife to do things that she doesn't want to do just to keep him happy. I think a man should be more understanding than that, and a man should give the wife the benefit of the doubt and the honor and the freedom of not doing what she doesn't feel like doing. But I'm just telling, that's my own opinion now, but I'm just telling you what men like and what men expect, okay? We are talking about the topic, and the topic is what men expect from their wives. So the men expect for her to be obedient, especially when she's having another opinion. But she still needs to let him know about her opinion and about what she thinks. But if she has another opinion and she still obeys, that really earns her more respect from the man. Now, apart from obedience, apart from being obedient, another way a woman could respect and honor the husband, another way a woman could honor and respect the husband is by being submissive. Now, being obedient is specific to instructions. Being obedient is a little bit different from being submissive. Being obedient is obedient to specific instructions, but being submissive is more like the attitude of the heart. Being submissive is much more deeper. Being submissive is much more bigger. To be submissive is much more general. To be submissive is more in relations to attitude, to the condition of the heart, to the is more an attitude of continuous respect and continuous honor. Because when you are obedient, you obey a specific instruction. But when you are submissive, and the Bible talks about submissive too. The Bible talks about both for wives to be obedient and for wives to be submissive. Being obedient is to be obedient to his instruction. But being submissive means to actually have that kind of lifestyle of submission, lifestyle of making the man know that he's on top, making the man know that he is the head, making the man know that, I am under you. So being submissive is an act from the side of the woman to creatively find a way of stepping aside, making herself feel lower or under the husband. So it is an effort, an intentional effort from the side of the woman to show honor by stepping down, by stooping low. It is a way that a woman has cultivated or has designed for herself to stoop. Not that she's lower, not that she's inferior, not that she is worse than the man. This is not talking about the position now. They are equal partners. But the wisdom of the woman is demonstrated in the fact that even though she might even be smarter sometimes, even though she might even be wiser, even though she might even be more accomplished, but our wisdom of intentionally withdrawing herself from that place of equality, or submitting herself, stooping down to just intentionally, because you see, when you are submitted because you are inferior, that is really not submission, because you are already inferior. You are already, you are already subjected. But what is submission? Submission is, why submission is important is that the reason why God is asking for submission is that you are equal. Husband and wife are equal. Husband and wife are on the same level. That's what it means. Submission has to be something you do voluntarily. So when the Bible says a woman should submit to her husband, it means that she is equal, and the man knows that she is equal to him, and she knows that he is equal to her. But despite the fact that she is equal, and the man has given her that right to be equal, and the man has given her that recognition that she's equal, and the man has given her that honor and that respect to be equal, that right to be equal, even though and God has given her that right to be equal. But the wisdom of the woman is, though equal, but to intentionally withdraw herself from that position of equality, to bring herself down to a place of submission. That means that it's not you, my husband, that put me under, but the wife, I myself, put myself under to honor you. I submit myself to you. I put myself under so that you will know how much I want to display to you and show to you that you are honored, that you are respected. That you are respected. So that is what we should know about submission. So submission is what a woman does by herself. Submission is not something that a man commands the woman to do. Submission is not something that a man makes the woman to do. Submission is something that a woman has to do intentionally and on her own accord. Submission has to be given by her to her husband. So when the Bible talks about submission in the Bible, I'm going to read from 1 Peter 3, First Peter 3. From verse 5. First Peter 3, 5. For in this manner, in former times, the holy women who trusted in God also adorned themselves, being submissive to their husbands. You see, they submitted themselves to their husbands. They were submissive. They were not subjected, but they were submissive. So they made themselves to submit. And that is easy for a woman to do, really. When a woman senses love and real care from her husband, when a woman senses real protection and real covering from the husband, she does that easily. She does that easily. She's happy to do that. She's willing to do that. But she still has to do that. And not that not that we are forcing, the men has to force her to do it. But if she's smart, she will do that, because that fits into his ego, that fits into his importance, that fits into his feeling of being appreciated, that fits into his feeling of being recognized, and that feels into his needs as well. He has the need to be recognized. He has the need to be honored, to be respected. He has that need indwelt in him. It's like a need for him. Just like a need to eat, for example. And a man needs to eat. Such also is the need to be respected. Such also is the need. But the need to be respected is even more important than the need to eat. Because to eat is just a need for the flesh and the body. But the need to be respected is about self-image. It's about self-esteem for the man. And, if he's respected, if he has that self-esteem, he can go to any length and he can do anything. So, like, for example, in America, what I discovered in America, what I heard in America is that American men, especially the white men now, they are going to Asia, to either Korea or to India. I mean, not India. So Korea and Thailand and China and Japan to look for Eastern women. They look for Eastern women. And one thing with Eastern women, Asian women, is that most of those Asian women, especially in those countries like Korea, China, Thailand, Japan, they have honor. They have honor like crazy. They have respect. In fact, when you go, I've been to Thailand and I've been to Singapore. I've been to Korea, South Korea. One thing even when you are just coming, when we just appear like this, they are bending like this, and they have understanding of honor, big time submission. They submit, and and the white men started running away from women who cannot submit. They started running away from women who are just feminists, because most white women want to be feminists, and they want to create only equality and without seeing the need for submission. But because the men still have that need indwelt in them, he wants that submission. He wants that submission. And it's not that he wants it. It might not be as some. If the man is really tactful, he will not be asking you for it. He will not be demanding you to be like that, to submit yourself or something like that. If a man is wise and is tactful, he will just wait and in silent. Most men will just be silent about it, but they might not say it, but they will appreciate it if you give it to them. They will appreciate it if you give it to them. So, like I said, one of the ways to honor and respect a man is by obeying him, but submission is even deeper. It's much more deeper. It's a continuous attitude all the time. It is how you behave towards him all the time. It is letting him know that, even though you are equal, even though you are mates, even though you are partners, it is that ability of a woman to always withdraw herself backward, to always kind of submit, to always withdraw her right. So submission is your your voluntary withdrawal of your own legitimate right. It is your voluntary desire to pull back, to step back, just to let him know that since you are my head, I honor you, I respect you. There are other ways you can show that. For example, in this scripture I was reading, 1 Peter 3:5, it says, "For in this manner, in former times, the holy women who trusted in God adorned themselves with submission, being submissive to their own husbands." They were submissive to their own husbands. They themselves, they made it happen. They are the ones in charge. They were not made to do it, but they did it out of wisdom. So they were submissive to their husbands, and somewhere here it says, as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. That's verse 6. That's an example of one of the godly women that submitted themselves to their husband. And the way the woman submitted, that Sarah here, the Sarah submitted, she submitted herself by calling him Lord. As Sarah obeyed Abraham, so she obeyed Abraham, that's one thing. And one of the ways she demonstrated that obedience, that submission, that honor to him was by calling him Lord. Now, calling him Lord doesn't make him Lord. But calling him Lord, you see that it just said calling him Lord. Because sometimes some people misunderstand that scripture and they say that the husband should be the Lord over the wife. No, it's not the wife being the Lord, the husband being the Lord. You see, it didn't say here that he was Abraham was the Lord over Sarah. Sarah was not a slave. Sarah was an equal partner, even in the Old Testament. But she herself her willing desire is something that she did willingly, and she only called him. That is the way she usualized him. That's the way she usualized him. That's the way she honored him. That's the way she praised him. That's the way she demonstrated honor. She demonstrated respect to him. That is a way of visualizing him. That is a way of making him know that is important. That's the way of making him know that he is the head of the head of the family. That is our wisdom. That is a wise way of letting him know that he is a hero, that he is the best, that he is a head, that he is that she is totally belonging to him, that she has submitted herself to him. So that is a usualizing that is going on there, adoration that is going on there. But that doesn't mean that she's inferior and he is the Lord, so she's just a slave in the family. That is not what that place is talking about. That place is talking about calling. It's only calling. It's not being. It's calling. It's because the basis of a marital relationship is equality. They are equal, and it is because of that equality that is at the basis of the marriage union. It is that equality that now makes the woman to be the one to intentionally and consciously idolize the husband. She has to, know and be willing and willingly submit, willingly be submissive, willingly submit herself. Even though they are equal, but she brings herself under. She willingly submits herself to him. She willingly recognizes his authority. She willingly, admires his authority. She willingly talks glowingly about his authority. So it says, as Sarah obeyed Abraham, obeyed is also. So one of the ways to honor and respect a man is to obey him. I've spoken about that already. And obedience is talking about concrete instructions. But the one that's more challenging for the woman is that continuous status, is that continuous attitude, continuous walk, continuous ability to conduct herself right, to conduct herself in an honoring way, So the ability of the woman to submit is continuous, and she has to look for ways. To demonstrate that submission. She has to look for ways to demonstrate that submission. And one of the way that Sarah has chosen to demonstrate that submission is by giving him a pet name. For me, I think the word Lord here is a pet name, is a pet title, and is an adulation kind of. It's a way of adulating him. It's a way of, okay, for example, you could call him honey. Honey is more like what a woman would like to hear. But honey, I know men and women in America and everybody all over the world now, they are copying that. So a man will call the wife honey, and then the wife will respond also and call the husband honey. But you know what I think? If you really want to follow the biblical example of adulation, if you really want to give your husband a name and call him something that will really help him, honey is not bad, but honey doesn't really make him know. You have to give him a title or a pet name or a pet title or that is adulating, that is showing respect to him, that is making him to know that he is celebrated, that is making him to know that he is adulated, that he's been adored. It has to be something adoring. It's not just like honey. Honey is something sweet. That's who a woman wants to be. But a man wants to be a hero. My hero, for example. If you call your husband my hero, wow. Okay, you see, women are mentioning some different names. They are saying sweetie. Sweetie is again for the woman. Sweetie is not what a man wants to be. He doesn't want to know what is sweetie. For him, he doesn't want to be sweet or be a honey or something like that. Love. Okay, Deborah is saying love. Love, like I said, love is not the premier desire of the man. Love is not the greatest desire that a man wants. He doesn't want to be a love. He doesn't want to, he wants to be loved, but my love is okay for him, not bad. But when you call him my hero or my Superman or my king, those kind of things, my lion, those kind of, it has to be something like that makes my super D, okay, my superb man, Mike, those, yes, now you are talking. But everywhere where I go now, my heart, no, those are feminine kind of things, darling, you are giving me all kind of feminine. Those are things that appeal more to the woman. My heart, my love, my all those things. Those are just things. I'm talking about manhood thing. I'm talking about something that will make the man be a man. That will boost his ego. My babe, we calling a man babe. What kind of babe? Anita, we calling a man babe? Of course, if you call him babe, he will say okay. He will agree. He will at least see your effort that you are trying to call him something. You are trying to call him a babe. So okay. He will say yes. He will pretend that it's okay. But babe is not something you should call a man. A man is not waiting for to be called a babe. He's even going to be ashamed with it. We have, so if you call him my hero, my champion, for example, my champion is a beautiful one. For the man, though, if you call him my champion, woo, or my superhero, wow. Now you are boosting his ego. Now you are messing him up. My hero, yeah. Now you are messing him up. But all those things, everybody is calling each other, my honey, all those honey, love, darling. Men are easygoing. So men just submit. Men just say, okay, my majesty, yeah, not bad. But all those honey things, they are just American something, and you will know that those things were taught by women. My honey, all those things. Those are just things that you will see that you will see that those things are coming from women teaching. But if you really want to know the thing about what men think and how they would like to be addressed, listen to this, my message. This is the one that will tell you men's opinion. It's a man talking now, not my. Okay, my man, yes, my man is not bad. My man is not bad. My giant is not bad, yes. All those kind of things, yeah. So those are better things. I told my wife, I'm not baby, oh. My children is my baby. I'm not baby. Baby, don't call me baby. That is a typical man right there. What Victor just said there, that is a typical man. Okay, for example, one day I had Nkiru talking about her husband and calling her husband babe. I just kept quiet. I said, this girl, she's just a girl, that's all. She's just a girl. Because that is what ordinary, in films or in novels, that is what they are calling men. And I just say, nobody has taught them. They are just behaving like women to us. They don't know that we are different, though. Men has not taught this topic. I don't know who is teaching them those things. Calling a man babe. Okay. But I know that Obi and any other man, they will just, they are just submissive. They will just behave themselves at least because they see your effort. They see that you want to try. You are trying. You want to do your best. You want to, honor them. You want to pet them. You want to respect them. So they receive it quietly and they pretend as if they like it. But if you come up with something like my champion, my king, my hero, my lion, my hero, my superhero, my things like that, those will really minister to, I said minister, I may be minister, my word, yeah. Okay, Ezekiel say my word, yeah, that's not bad. My champion, my winner. So he needs a name that will make him, be a giant, a leader, that will make him go and perform, that will make him, he needs a name that will make him to go out, man is about ego. My giant, my man, yes, those things. A man needs to go out and, and feel himself nice. My lion, my, yes, my king, all those kind of things. It needs something, my majesty, So a man needs something that will boost his pride, that will, my pride, yes, that's another good one. And so, so I don't know, but if you people, you are going to be calling your husband something like this, things like my warrior, my warrior maybe not, but my hero, yeah, because warrior is just warring. What did he get? My trophy. So, but if you come up out with something like this, that will really minister to the man. It shows your honor. So, but you know, like Sarah got a good one too. Okay, somebody say my presido, my prime minister. You know, things like that could minister to a man. He might like it. You know, but Sarah got a good one, and Sarah called Abraham my Lord. My Lord, wow, that is totally, you know, totally, what do you call it? Yeah, that is conquering. That is my crown. Wow, my crown, my everything. Yes. Now you people are coming. Now the ladies are coming up with good options now. My excellency. Now you are talking. My provider. Now somebody is asking here. Now, Pastor, what does your wife call you? That's a big question right there. That is a big question. Okay, let me tell you about my wife. When we were married, this was one of the biggest challenges my wife faced. This was the biggest challenge my wife faced when we were married. In fact, it got to a place that she came to me and said, because I would call her princess. I call her princess from the very first day. Even before I married, I was already well informed. Like I said, that before I married, I studied the subject of women, men, and I made myself really prepared. So I knew that I was going to call my wife princess. I heard about honey, but I didn't just want to be like every other person calling honey. And then they call each other honey. I mean, the girl says honey, the wife says honey, and then the woman says honey. I mean, the same thing? Men and women, are you the same? Why honey? Is it the same thing? It has to be different somehow. Anyway, she also guessed that okay, since I'm calling her princess, she was asking, so she had to come to, she was asking other women, what do you people call your husband? Because my husband is calling me, she was just calling me Sunday. At first. Then she discovered that she's calling me Sunday and I'm calling her princess. I think she started feeling somehow. And so she then started asking other women, and other women were just saying, you know, they call their husband daddy, or she doesn't like that idea of daddy, or something like that. So then some other women say they just call their husbands by their names. And she's calling me by my name, which is okay, I don't care. But I think she was always concerned that maybe it's not a good thing for her just to be calling me by Sunday when I'm calling her princess. So it became a real burden for her. It was a real burden for her. And she was asking until she had to come to me. Until she has to come to me. I'll be saying, what do you want me to call you? And me, I didn't want to be the one to tell her what to be calling me. So I was saying, call me anything you want. Call me Sunday, call me anything you want. She said, but you are calling me princess. Maybe I should call you prince. I said, no, prince, don't call me prince. If I call you princess, you call me prince. Just like you are responding, like honey again. No, call me something from your heart. Then one day we were listening to one of the pastors in Nigeria, one Nigerian pastor, and the wife was talking, and we heard the wife talking in that audio message, and the wife was addressing the man as pastor, publicly at least, as pastor. So I told her, so you see this woman now, if you don't know what to call me, the person just called pastor now. I mean, that woman is just calling her husband pastor. You want to say pastor, please? She said, are you not against, you are not against pastor? I said, I'm not against. I said, if it's convenient for you, can use pastor. So that's how she just started calling me pastor from there. So she's calling me pastor. Pastor also is not bad for the man. Pastor is okay because pastor is also a form of respect and a form of honor. So my wife calls me pastor. That's what you wanted to know. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Blessings. Have a wonderful day.